everyone, my name is Dr. Jessica Payne and I'm a chiropractic nutritionist, and thank you so much for joining me on a daily energizing routine for your lymphatic system. Now, the lymph system is often overlooked in Western medicine, and I feel it's a major host for underlying health conditions. So I'm going to show you some quick, easy steps to go ahead and stimulate your lymphatic system. Now, when the lymph system gets bogged down, what can happen is waste and toxins can build up in your lymph system, and the lymph system does not have a primary pump, and what that means is it flows from the ankles all the way up to your neck and in this one direction. Now, the lymph system is comprised of clear fluid that lies underneath your skin and is embedded within your muscles as well as your connective tissue, and it's also comprised of several different organs. Now, I feel that the lymph system should be flowing like a river. If you can visualize a river constantly moving, that is what we want. And if our lymph system starts to become stagnated or congested, that is like a pond, and it becomes a breeding ground for waste and bacteria and other pathogens to grow. Now, some people who experience lymph congestion or poor lymph flow can have cold hands and cold feet. They can have swelling and joint pain, as well as migraines and nausea, fatigue, poor concentration, and really a suppressed immune system. So I'm going to show you some quick, easy, beneficial steps that you can, and exercises that you can do on a daily basis. And if you're thinking, am I one of these people that needs this? You probably are, especially those that are sitting at the office all day or standing in one place for a long time, as well as a traveler. I think that doing an easy, quick, energizing routine for your lymph system is very, very beneficial and important to your health. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so the first thing to remember is that lymph flows in one direction through muscle contraction as well as through manual manipulation, like a massage. That's why exercise is so beneficial for your lymphatic system, but if you don't have a lot of time or energy for that matter, then your lymph system, and you're not doing an exercise routine, then your lymph system can really get bogged down. So here are some simple exercises and techniques that I've collaborated from many different energy medicine practitioners like Donna Eden down to Qigong masters. The first thing you want to do is start with above your collarbones or your clavicles, and what you can do is just do gentle presses, I call it, up or back and forth, kind of from the center of your body, above the collarbone, all the way out to the edge of the collarbone. And the lymph pools in this area, and it's very, very easy to see on people if they have a swollen neck or even neck pain. Somebody may have congested lymph right above the collarbone. Now, the next thing that you can do is just nice gentle strokes on the inside from your lower wrist up to your armpit. Just very gentle strokes up and down the inside of your arms like this. Like that. Very gentle, and when I say gentle, you're going to do it hard enough where you're not just sliding over your skin, but not too hard where you're feeling the tissue underneath your skin. So on the inside of your arms 3 times, and then also on your legs, starting from your ankles and going all the way up from the inside of your legs into the inner upper thigh. Again, 3 times, very gentle, like this. Okay, next what you can do is what's called the thumb pump. Now this is one of Donna Eden's specialties. I absolutely love it, and it's very, very beneficial to really get your body energized and your lymph system going. So you start with your lower wrist, and what you do is you thump like this, up and down 3 times on the inside of the arm and then the outside of the arm, just like this. And you're going to do that 3 times, up and down. Then you're going to go the other arm. You're going to go up and down 3 times on the inside of the opposite arm, like that, and then on the outside of the arm as well, 3 times. Okay, then what you're going to do is go from your hips all the way down to the outside of your ankles. You're going to go ahead and thump like this on the outside of your legs 3 times, up and down, like this, and then on the inside of your legs, And it's very gentle, nothing too hard. And you're gonna do the inside of your legs 3 times, then you go behind the knees, and I generally do for a count of 20 or so. We'll just pretend I did 20. Then you go to the inside of the hips. This is where the lymph will often get congested in the groin area. And you just go up and down like this. You're gonna do that for around a count of 20. Then you're gonna go to the upper part of your chest, above your breasts. This. And also behind your neck, like this. Next, what I like to do are what's called kidney punches, just very gentle hits up and down your spine in the lower or the small of your back, like this. And sometimes you can feel tenderness when you do this, and oftentimes if I feel tenderness on one side or the other, I'll just continue to thump on both sides until the tenderness is actually gone. Next, if you feel that you need lymph help, drainage in your face, these are some great techniques to do. What you can do is go ahead and just take your fingers like this, and across the upper part of your eyebrows, you're rubbing, as well as the lower part of your sinuses. Now, previously I mentioned that when the lymphatic system gets congested, you can get headaches and migraines. So this is what's called a crown pull. You're going to separate your skin, and you're going to use some force, I guess you'd say, to go ahead and pull all the way up to the top of your crown. And you can do this 3 times. So again, you start right above the eyebrows, and you're separating, or kind of almost like you're splitting the skin, but of course not hurting yourself. You're going to go all the way up 3 times to the very tippy top of the crown, like this. I'm going to do that one more time. Okay, and next I'm going to show you some great neurolymphatic points. And what this is, neurolymphatic points are basically spots on the acupuncture meridian that can benefit specific organs in the lymphatic system. So for example, here is the kidney point, and this can stimulate the kidneys as well as energize the kidneys. And what you're doing is you're going around 1 inch or right below the divot of the middle of your collarbone, like this, and you're going to rub vigorously. And oftentimes people will tell me one side is more tender, or both sides can be tender, and you just rub vigorously for about 30 seconds. The next spot is for your thymus gland, and that's right over your sternum and right in between your breasts. And you can either tap like this or also rub vigorously for around 30 seconds to stimulate your thymus gland. Next, the spleen neurolymphatic point is 1 inch below the nipple line, almost in the rib cage, in the crevice of a rib. And you're going to feel it. You most often will notice tenderness, and you can just rub vigorously. And if you don't feel tenderness, don't worry about it. Just keep rubbing for around 30 seconds. That's no big deal. Next, the adrenal neurolymphatic point is right at the belly button or the navel, and 1 inch lateral, and you can rub vigorously here, like this. And the small intestine, which is often overlooked, the digestive system, if it is congested and constipation is occurring, the body basically cannot excrete its toxins properly, and the lymph system as well as the blood can become very toxic. So you always want to add in the small intestine and large intestine points. And here's a small intestine point. Basically what you do is you go from 1 inch out from the navel and then up 1 inch, and you're just going to rub vigorously there. And again, some people might find this very, very tender, and you just go ahead and rub it gently, like this. Then what you can do is actually to stimulate more of the digestive tract, you can rub through your lower legs, as well as rub vigorously in your inner leg. like this, and just rub for about 30 seconds. And then lastly, for the large intestine, on the outside of the leg, you can go ahead and rub vigorously up and down like this. You might actually feel tenderness or almost like a nodule, and sometimes that has to relate directly to the large intestine, like that. Okay, now I also like to use essential oils. Some specific essential oils that are my favorite are grapefruit, lemon, ledum, and citrus fresh. What you can do is take the essential oil, and I know I'm not sensitive to lemon being on my skin directly, so I don't need to worry about diluting it. But what you can do is take an essential oil, put it in your hand, and then rub on any of those neurolymphatic points. So for example, I can go ahead and take the lemon and go to my collarbone or underneath my clavicle where the kidney point is and rub vigorously. And the essential oil basically stimulates the lymphatic system and create a quicker and quicker result. So you just rub vigorously here. And then I can also take it to my thymus area, which is right over my sternum, and rub it there. If I wanted to use grapefruit, I can use grapefruit on any of the other points like the spleen or the adrenals or the small intestine, or even up and down my legs. Now, one other way that most people will overlook having their lymphatic system work properly, one other technique is basically doing deep diaphragmatic breathing. And what I mean by that is most often we're chest breathers. We are raising our shoulders, and you can see all the muscles in your neck getting tight like this if you're a chest breather. And what happens is these are our secondary respiratory muscles, and we will often recruit these muscles and get very tight in our back and in our chest. So what we want to do is actually work on recruiting our diaphragm, which is our primary respiratory muscle, the muscle that we should be using to breathe. And what you can do is place your hands on your tummy like this, and just focus on taking big, deep breaths into your nose and out your mouth, only using your stomach, only using your diaphragm muscles. So it looks kind of like this. So my goal is to not raise my shoulders when I'm breathing and to get a nice, big, full, deep breath in. And if you did this just once a day, doing 10 breaths, it will really help stimulate your lymphatic system. All right, and the very last tip I'm going to give you is if you just can't get the time in to do these exercises, or you really don't want to, what you can do is help your lymphatic system by doing Epsom salt baths. I often will recommend Epsom salt bath. A 1 cup ratio to baking soda is fantastic. And then go ahead and put some of your favorite essential oils like lemon and citrus fresh and grapefruit. Those are so great to aid in the movement of your lymph system. So I hope this helps, and for more resources, check out my website at www.livingyourlifenaturally.com. Thanks, and have a great day.